Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? It is Tuesday, November 17th, and this is your daily financial news. Yes, this is Jimbo on my shoulder. He's not feeling good this morning. It's kind of the only position I have found where he doesn't whine. So I'm going to try to record this thing live and see what happens. See if he yanks out my earbuds or whatever. But I'll give it a shot. It's important for me to try to at least get this done at 7:30 a.m. for you. We do this 7 days a week. No clickbait. We just talk about what is going on in the market. Lots of things. Tuesday has been it's only been a couple of hours, and I think Tuesday is could prove to be the most interesting day of the week. A couple of things jump out at me. Again, no particular order. I just write them down as we get to them. First off, the stock market opened a little bit weak this morning. What that led me to believe is I wonder, could Wall Street have enough of a hissy fit to force Congress into action? You have heard me say it many times, and I'm going to keep saying it. Q4 is going to be rough. There are going to be more people and more families that suffer pain, and they feel it for the rest of their lives. I don't have a lot of memories from my childhood, but one of them was a particular time when my father was unemployed. I think it was for 9 months. And we went from making hard decisions about what to eat, to pay, to making impossible decisions. And we were a weekend away from losing our house and having to separate as a family, because it was possible my sister and I would have to go to Michigan to live with our grandparents as my father looked for work. So that trauma sticks with me 40 years later. And that's why it bothers me that I think so many families are going to have difficult conversations. This doesn't have to happen. California governor has just told everybody to stay home again. Well, freaking A, replace the income for the people that don't have a job that can work from home. If you want them to stay home, pay them. And to see that they're coming out with these measures with no income replacement is tragic, insulting, disgusting, likely will go down as one of the largest mistakes Congress has ever made. It is that bad and that tragic. So again, I can relive those memories, and I would do anything I could so families wouldn't have to repeat that trauma that the kids will carry for 40 years. I carry that trauma still for 40 years. So it's sad that this is going to happen to some families this year. Next thing I saw is Bitcoin. Bitcoin went over 17,000. I have a friend of mine who has been in the crypto space for, I don't know, 5 to 8 years, pretty heavy, might be a decade. He's always trying to get me over there. So he agreed to do an interview with me later in the week. I'm going to ask him all kinds of questions like, what don't I get? I think that'll be an interesting conversation. But again, Bitcoin over 17,000 today. As I said, California's in lockdown again, following Michigan and all of these other places. U.S. retail sales came out today, and they are the first sign that Q4 is going to be weak. I told you this was coming. Consumer spending was down 0.3. It only reported 0.3 when I was expecting 0.5. It's just another sign. And again, X autos, which have been good, and you buy with debt, it was actually up only 0.1. So again, retail sales. This is just more evidence that the consumer is feeling it. They saved a little money during the CARES Act. That money is slowly leaching away. And again, back to my personal story, I know exactly what those families are doing around the kitchen table as they talk about how to stretch their last $20. It doesn't have to happen. Amazon is going out and, in my opinion, raising the specter of government intervention. They've just launched Amazon Pharmacy, where they're going to be delivering pharmacy medicines to, via their distribution. And as you would expect, Walgreens and CVS were hit hard, both down, I think, 6% already. When Amazon enters the market, existing providers typically lose. Again, Amazon is going to get to a size where the federal government is going to come in and break them up at some point. That will be a real risk for Amazon. But maybe the parts are worth more than the whole. I don't know. Tesla will be added to the S&P 500. This has long been rumored. It will be added as of the 21st of December. I expect it to have a big pop today because there will be a lot of people that the S&P index is, pretty well owned. So expect a big pop. As I talked about on Saturday in the look ahead, excuse me, lots of retails are reporting this week. Home Depot reported great earnings, top and bottom, sales surged 24%. They did agree to absorb another $1 billion in costs. Something that Home Depot did is they raised some salary, some cost from their employees during this pandemic, and they actually are gracious enough to adopt those full time. So their cost structure went up $1 billion. Wall Street probably won't like that. And again, as we've been talking about retailers, especially the ones that are winning today, we are starting to talk about, will this last? Because we have vaccine news the last 2 Mondays, everybody is looking out to April, May, June, when we are hopefully past this lockdown and this lunacy. And they're going, okay, are people going to keep improving their homes and things of that nature? So interesting. Walmart also reported. Again, Walmart, I think, is one of those, one of those companies that's positioned really well. Their e-commerce went up 79% year on year. They said that the growth was like 3 to 5%, 3 to 5 years of growth inside of a 12-month period. Again, record breaking. They did admit to soft back to school sales. I think that is interesting because, as you and I both know, we have Christmas coming up, the holiday season. And I hope this doesn't sound bad. I really don't mean it this way. If it does, I think it's just a fact. The Walmart consumer, right? The average Walmart consumer is probably on the lower end of the socioeconomic ladder. I don't think that's inaccurate. They're also, again, if you look at the stats, the one that have been impacted the most by this health crisis. So I wonder if not only back to school proves to be weak, but what about holiday sales? That Q4 is going to be rough. I'm telling you, it's going to be rough. And I will go back and talk about a video that we did called Creating Good Karma, where lots of you watched that and made a donation to Toys for Tots. I matched your donations collectively because, again, I think it's good karma is important. So I want to thank each and every one of you who did that. And yeah, it's just so bad. Airbnb filed for IPO. Again, I think I brought this up as a possibility last week. They did it. A couple of interesting notes in their numbers. First off, Q3 revenue dropped 18%, which is actually up from Q2. Q2 dropped 72%. Interestingly enough about Q3, because Airbnb submitted or committed to so many SG&A cost reduction, sales and marketing, they actually made money in Q3. I think that is interesting. They made $219 million in Q3 because they basically slashed all marketing and sales costs. So it will be interesting. The other thing that's all over their filing is they're doing better than hotels and airlines, but they highlighted COVID-19 219 times in their filing. So they're definitely pointing it out there. We got, again, all this news sometimes is just looking backwards. The Homebuilder Confidence came in at a record. It's a scale of 0 to 100. Anything above 50 is generally positive. It came in today at 90. I didn't even know it was possible to do a 90. Basically, the home builders are like, hey, people are leaving urban rental units, condo towers, and they're coming to the suburbs and they're buying our new homes as fast as they can. They did highlight first-time buyers as a particularly strong segment. So again, pretty interesting. Got a few more things to talk about, but I always fail to do this, so let me remind you. If you like these daily, no clickbait videos, do me a favor, hit thumbs up or like or whatever you want to call it. And if you're new to the channel and you want to get daily updates, subscribe, hit notified. But just realize I do create 3 to 4 original pieces every day. So if that's going to annoy you, don't hit notification. But subscribe, hit the thumbs up, Let's keep growing this together. Thank you for the daily support. Back on to what I found today. Costco. Costco has declared a $10 special dividend payable to shareholders of record on December 2nd. This is the fourth time in 8 years that Costco has done this. Again, $10 a share. GameStop is in the news. They have a activist, the founder of Chewy, which is a pet toy online retailer, basically who owns 10% of the company, saying GameStop, you are in too many physical locations. You need to get out of all these bricks and mortars and go online. This is going to be interesting, right there. I mean, the strip malls that GameStop are in, these little hole in the walls, they're really small stores. The ones I've been to are like, I don't know, 500 square feet. They're actually pretty small. But it'd be interesting to see where GameStop goes, and also what other brick and mortar retailers kind of look at that as well and go, hey, we have too many and we need to reduce. And then finally, Berkshire, I call it Buffett because that's, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company. They've made some new and interesting bets. They have made some significant investments in, biotechs, AbbVie, Bristol Myers, Merck, and Pfizer. They've opened position in all four. This kind of reminds me back when Berkshire made investments in banks. He bought 4 or 5 at the same time, and over time diversified out of some and kept others. This is maybe Berkshire's way of entering a market, not knowing which one will win, so he places bets down. And then lastly, just because it's here, not only did he buy a position in AbbVie, Bristol Myers, Merck, and Pfizer, but he did also buy a position in T-Mobile. T-Mobile likely on the back of 5G, would be my guess. And then the last thing, again, we have real problems. We talk about this Thursday with Jonathan Twomley. Unemployment rate U3 looks okay, 6.9 I think was the last number. But realize 1 in 3 unemployed have been on the unemployment rolls for more than 26 weeks, which means they are not counted. They are now kicked into the emergency unemployment ranks, again, not included in U3. And unfortunately, that ends at the end of the year. It's the 26th or the 31st or whatever. Again, back to my earlier point, Congress has failed, and I think will go down as one of the greatest failures ever. And all of those donkeys need to be voted out next time we get a chance. It is truly a tragedy. So again, let you know what's coming today. Oh, first, that video I put out yesterday, how to become a multimillionaire, it seems to be resonating. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Again, this is with buy and hold rental properties. So take a look. It's very straightforward. Got some great comments, so thank you for the interaction. Today, we're going to have a couple of interviews. It's Tuesday, so we'll be talking to Omar at 9. And then I'm having someone interview me kind of and talk about the message of one rental at a time and how can we make it better and things of that at 8. I will share that. And then lastly, I did my real estate meetup yesterday. It's about 90 minutes long. I will try to load that today. And again, if you're part of real estate meetups, love to do them virtually, love to get them recorded, love to share them with you. Again, it was just 100% Q&A. We talked about the market, we talked about flipping, we talked about all kinds of things. So you might like that. Be warned, it's 90 minutes long. Starts a little slow as the real estate meetup owner kind of kicks things off. You can just fast forward to the first 5 minutes if you like. But yeah, take a look. I'll try to load it. I'm going to have to do that probably in the afternoon when nothing's going on. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe, be great. Take care.